Well, you see, whatever I say is just, it could just be by way of projection. Maybe it may by February, because we don't have absolute control on these vaccines. So we are also looking at what we are being told from those who are making the vaccines available. And we are not restricting ourselves to a particular one, but we will have to look at the realities of our own situation. Because you talk of some of these vaccines that you need to store at a temperature of about -70. So the tendency is for us to want to look at the ones that we can easily manage. That is between a temperature of +2 to +8, which is within the range of the routine vaccines that we use for the childhood vaccine-preventable diseases. That is polio, measles, and all that. So we have facilities on ground to cope with such. So we'll look at all this, and then we'll look at the cost element as well. Because, the vaccines are not free. We have to buy them, and the funds will have to be there for us to be able to. So it will be difficult for me to tell you that we are expecting the vaccines next week or 2 weeks.
Well, the PTF has been talking about, getting a hold of 100,000 vaccines first. We also saw reports of, the president and the vice president will receive the vaccines on live television. I think that report came out last week.
They would.
Yes, so, and then we're also saying here, I'm sure a lot of people, when they pick up the Vanguard, we're wondering where this is from. Frontline workers, adults, uniformed personnel, high burden states, top priority list. 84 million plus Nigerians to be vaccinated in first quarter. First quarter of when? Is it first quarter of this year or next year?
First quarter of this year, definitely.
So
first quarter, that's between January and March.
We're hopeful that we would actually be able to get up to 90 million vaccines supplied to Nigeria.
These are projections. These are projections because we have to, you make your planning, and then you make your projections.
Projections based on what? I mean...
Projections based on some of the things you've read out. That is, who are the people that will be targeted first? Priority groups.
No, projections, the projections I think will concern a lot of people are projections as to where we're getting the vaccines from, because we know that right now, for a lot of the companies that are producing, they haven't even been bought up front by the countries that are capable of buying. So are we confident that based on the companies that we know have been able to produce vaccines so far, we'll be able to get 90 million for Nigeria in the first quarter of 2021?
That is why I told you that we are reaching out. We are not restricted to a particular. There are so many vaccines available, but we will look. You see, the process of getting these vaccines is not such that we will just go there and start procuring. Even when the vaccines are available, they have to come here and be certified by NAFDAC. So it's a whole lot of process. NAFDAC has to, certify the vaccine and say yes, we are good to go. And don't forget that all these vaccines that you have available being used now, they are being used under emergency use authorization. So that means if some of these companies already, they are also talking of indemnity, which is being guaranteed by some of the countries. That's also another. To
be indemnified just in case things go wrong.
Yes.